No time between games here. We're already underway. We're back here on Pro V Networks. Rio Rapids SC against Rio Rapids Impact. So no time for rosters or anything in between here as the Rio Rapids Impact team. That's the team in red against another Rio Rapids team in white. This is the under-17 girls final. And we keep just shoveling in state champs. Coach David Sullivan's alongside now. And we're already underway.
It's a nice day, huh?
It's a beautiful day for soccer.
So this game will have the top team in Rio playing against their second-tier team. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Just started to pick up. We're pretty lucky to have it pretty dead most of the morning. Hopkins. Since we have you here, Coach, and you're on the high school leader here.
Yeah.
So Tatiana Limon had a little change of plans, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Tatiana Limon was going to Los Angeles to receive her All-American award. And while we were there, the former coach at Albuquerque Academy, Charlie Straw, he's now working with the Air Force Academy. And he'd always liked the way that she played, so the door opened up. Tatiana took the ACT 4 times in the last 2 months to try and get everything taken care of. Last Wednesday, we received notification that she was accepted in. So for her, she's going to be going to the prep school, which means that she will sit out for 1 year, and then she'll have her 4 years of college soccer. When I talked to her about that, she said, "Coach, soccer's just a game. This is the rest of my life." And she said she was being called to serve the country. So it's pretty respectable.
Right. You love to hear that. Absolutely. So, yeah, I saw that in the paper. Thought we'd have a chance to ask you about it.
Yeah, she's excited. She was kind of put into a tough spot having to call a coach and say that she committed to and say that she was going to go after another opportunity. But, she felt that that's what was the best situation for her and where she wants to go with her life. So you can't fault her for having a direction.
Right, and I'm sure it always helps when it's a service academy. I think that helps ease the pain of the other coach, because what are you going to tell a kid not to serve their country? No, you can't do that, right?
You can't do that.
So I think that always helps.
What'll be interesting though is I talked to the coach friend at the Air Force Academy, and he had a player that wasn't able to get into the academy, so I know that he was going to work with New Mexico State to try and get her there. So it was essentially potentially a 1-for-1, and that player is coming out of Pennsylvania. So we'll see what happens there, because we definitely want New Mexico State to be successful as well.
Out wide here is Maris Fishbein. Is that the Fishbein I'm thinking, Coach?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
That is.
All right.
Runs in the family.
Yep.
She's a heck of a track athlete from what I hear as well.
Yeah, she took home some state titles at Albuquerque High.
That's a dangerous
shot.
ball.
Dangerous in front of the goal there. Took it away from Sanchez there at midfield. Nice job by Michaela Aragon. Winning it, Gallegos. Hannah still over the ball. To the head now to Groth. Sydney, she's in the box. Still over the ball.
Tackle.
There we go. Seventh minute.
I didn't catch who had the goal.
Sydney Groth.
That was a
slots
good
it
build-up.
in. Yeah, they just really couldn't get her off the ball there, Coach.
Yeah.
She kept on pushing.
He did a good job of starting it off the back, from the back line and penetrating through the dribble.
So the Rapids team that's in white here with the goal. So one team is their second level team. Is that what you said, Coach?
Yeah, so the white team, generally with Rio, their top teams don't have a name. They'll just go by the year. So theirs is Rio Rapids 2000.
Right.
So that'll be the top team in their age group. And then again, the team in red is their second team, which is pretty exciting to see if you're Rio, because Russia's top team isn't here, elite. So to have two of the top teams in an age group is something to be proud of.
Yeah. Nothing scary for the keeper there. So we don't, as Sophia Roberts couldn't really get anything behind that. Nothing doing there, really. So early, 1-0. This one started a little late because of the extra time and then the penalty shootout. We saw Rio losing a heartbreaker in the last one.
It's a good clear by Isabella Madrid.
Trying to play back centrally here to Hopkins. She almost lost it. And the foul's given for substitution here. Brianna Lopez will come on. So Lopez comes on here.
Isabella Madrid again with the header.
Gallegos lost it. Aragon won at the midfield. Kayla Martinez, number 99 in red. heavy dose of possession for Rio 2000 early on here.
What a ball.
Beautiful ball. Keeper came out to meet it, and then it went through her hands. Slotting it home, Groff. That's her second goal. The keeper, I thought Coach did the right thing there, came out, and it went right through her fingertips.
Yeah. When it looked like as soon as she came down, one of the defenders on impact slowed down. Something you try and teach is to get to the line. She anticipated a save, and unfortunately, keeper couldn't hold on to it. Where now this is going to make it dangerous is if Impact wants to compete, they're going to have to kind of open themselves up. So it'll be interesting to see if this game kind of, the score gets a little out of control, or if Impact can close the gap.
So are these teams, Coach, that traditionally train together or no?
Not necessarily. What you'll see sometimes is that they'll have girls from the top team go and train down just to get extra training, or vice versa. Girls from the second, third team training up just to get some extra touches. Usually when we're looking for guest players in a club, you're going to look to take from your own. But these teams are definitely familiar with each other. I would imagine that a game plan for Impact was to try to keep them out of the box and counterattack, but they're having a hard time gaining possession.
Because really, we've only been on this side of the pitch just once for Impact. The majority of this match has been played on the other side.
Got a handball. So this could be the first attempt. It'd be interesting to see if the goalkeeper for the 2000s, Abby, gets tested. Abby recently just committed to Colorado College in Colorado Springs, Division I. They play in the Mountain West, so hopefully we get to see her showcase what she has.
She makes the easy stop there. And the counter could be on here. Defender went all out on the gamble there. It almost cost her. Not out of trouble yet. Now Martinez clears it. But it just seemed like the pressure just never came, and she kept coming with the ball, Coach.
Yeah. No, and
they're not going to step up and stop you.
Yeah, take your space, yeah. On that counterattack, you could hear the coach telling his team to drop, but somebody has to slow the ball down. You can't just let them keep dribbling into our space, so we'll see if that happens again and see how they handle it.
There's Fishbein. Again, no one stopping the ball. Fishbein's still going.
It's a dangerous ball. Dangerous ball. Oh!
Wow, how did she get a toe on that?
Yeah.
Groth looking for a hat trick already.
What a ball.
Yeah, and she got a toe on it.
Yeah, Impact needs to get higher pressure on the ball, get the head down so we can't have dangerous balls like that.
Gallegos just took it away. More physical over the ball there. There's Fishbein.
Good turn.
Just a little heavy on that touch as she was leading Barella. Keeper looks like she came up limping. Yeah.
An offsides call, yeah.
Fishbein
Nice
gets it
pass.
back. Armijo ahead to Fishbein. If you're Coach Baca, how do you get the ball out of this half of the pitch?
Yeah, I think something that I would tell my team at this point is that we need to keep the ball. Like right there, we're kicking it for the sake of kicking it. It's, you know, if we can just possess the ball, we're going to settle down, and then we can look to go forward. But, you know, I would say 90% of this game they're playing without the ball and defending, and when we're doing that, I would expect that back line's going to get tired pretty quick. So, you know, play simple, keep the ball. You try to calm them down. I mean, you know, something that the team needs to understand is you have plenty of time to come back. You know, it's 2-0, that's okay. We have time to make some changes, but you know, on a game like today, there's going to be a lot of nerves. So we'll see if they can turn it around.
Sanchez met it at midfield there. Fishbein.
Nice turn.
Armijo. And then another shot by Groth. This one a little wide, no power behind it.
Yeah, that was a prime example. Connect two passes, no pressure on our center back, and we're sending it long. Again, something that I'd look to do is just keep the ball. Let's string 5-6 passes together, move up the field, play simple.
Sanchez gets it ahead. Now they'll play it back to Hope. She'll switch the field. Nice ball ahead to Fishbein. Good piece of defending there by Jessica Ganley. Fishbein and Groth up front. They seem really connected, really on the same page. Like they have a good idea what they want to do when they attack, Coach.
Yeah, definitely. I think if I was on the Rio 2000s, my game plan would be the same. Just keep getting it to the goal scorer.
Another
Nice save.
shot, save there.
Yeah, I would just keep feeding the ball to Groth and let her make some trouble. Every time she's received a ball, she's able to turn pretty easily. So
Corner here.
it's a good service.
Beautiful ball in. It's headed over the top.
Looked like that was Hannah Gallegos.
Right now, the Rio 2000, they're getting whatever they want on this end. 2-0 early. Both goals from Groth, the 7th minute and the 12th. Thank our sponsors at McDonald's. Try the new signature crafted recipe today at the McDonald's right here in Bernalillo, as well as Pizza 9 off Highway 550 in Bernalillo. Here's Fishbein. Good communication there between her and Roberts. Armijo back in the center now. Rivera. Sarmijo. Switching to the other side. Hopkins.
Oh, what
Off
a
the
shot.
Post.
Stays in.
Keeper a little late to the party there. If that's on target, that's 3-0. High ball in. Keeper will make the catch. This was another good look. Just doesn't seem like the Impact team real tight. They're not really pressuring. A team of this caliber on the other side, you can't allow them that much space, can you, Coach?
No, you got to keep the head down. Something that we talk about constantly is if you see someone on the ball with the head up, we have to drop so we can't get beat behind. But in order to stop balls like that, we have to get a head down. So even here, if we're not going to put high pressure, that's fine. But as they get closer to our goal, we have to have high pressure.
Fishbein trying to shed her defender. It's a nice job there by Alex Haley to win that one. Relieve the pressure momentarily, but then they get it right back. Starting to howl a little bit out here in Bernalillo. See if Impact can make anything of this. Hannah Gallegos will clear it out. Still on that far touchline. Just play the cross to the far post, nobody there. Groth. Fishbein. Some beautiful build up here using the width of the field. But then Martinez took it away. Sanchez stepped in, took it away, Hope's back to her feet, and wins the ball. Tried to get it into Fishbein. A rare relief of pressure here to the other side. Fishbein, can she beat her defender?
Yep.
She does. Still on her feet. Oh, look at that angle just off the post. Again. Stayed on her feet. She created the angle, and then she just missed with finding the post. If you had to guess, possession close to 85, 90%.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I had to throw a number out, 80, 85, 15. Again, Impact. It looks like Impact's in a 4-5-1, and they keep playing over their midfield, and they're missing their target player. So, again, with that formation, we should be looking to possess the ball. Let's see, we have some changes coming in. Maybe that can change.
Kaylee Pena, number 15 in white. Number 13 in white is not listed. Oh, Deja Sandoval, I beg your pardon. And then for Impact, we have number 15 here. That's Mariana Porras. And then number 5, Victoria Mares. But it's really been a clinic for this 2000 team to open up. The 2 goals for Groth in the 7th and 12th. A near miss by Fishbein, found the post. And close to 90% possession. Just took the air pretty much out of this one at the beginning.
Yeah, I think if you're the coach for Impact, you're hoping to get out of this half 2-0, so you can calm your team down during halftime, make some necessary changes to potentially win the game. Something that a philosophy that I have that could differ from others is in a championship game, I want to try and win, and I'd rather lose 5-0 than try to win than lose 2-0 and try to keep them out of the goal. So let's see if they can hold it off till the half, and if they can, see if the coach can make the right changes.
Far side here. And again, 2000 takes it away. Trying to find Fishbein. Defender a bit lucky there. Hopkins took it away at midfield. Beautiful possession here. A lot of space. A lot of options here. Hopkins played it back. Sandoval.
That was a nice touch.
Another look here. She'll play it off. So good defending there. So they had a good look. Couldn't capitalize to make it 3-0. '30th minute here. 2-0. If you're just joining, you're watching ProView Networks, New Mexico's first 24/7 local sports network. Sebastian Noel, Coach David Sullivan, state champs at St. Pius. We've seen a clinic early on here.
Yeah, this is a tough one for Impact. On the other opposite side though, for the Rio 2000s, this is probably a very comfortable game. I think if they could get one more before half, that should do it for it. But we'll see if we can again get some momentum to change. That wind kicked up, so if that wind can kick up again and Impact can have the win in the second half, it could be a different ball game. But they need to try and survive the rest of this half. Get away 2-0.
Kayla Thompson, Mara Rosato have coming on. Fishbein, they tried to find her. Beautiful ball in, just couldn't find the man at the far post. sub here for Impact. Two of them. Looks like Madison Monheimer's come on. And Megan Morton. Just trying to see this to half. Can't concede a third right before. Fishbein.
Dangerous ball. Ooh. Backside of the net.
Just so much possession on this end for 2000. It's Fishbein and Sandoval working in front of the keeper there. After a heavy first touch, almost a good ball. That was a little heavy as well. Trying to clear it out. Back line hasn't had to do much today. Keeper, I think, has been picking daisies over there. I don't know. She's
Right.
she's had a nice, easy day at the office. From a psychological standpoint, if you can at least get some possession on this end, maybe even a shot going into the half, it's got to do wonders for the Impact psyche.
Yeah. I mean, even there, that was probably the best build-up they've had. So, again, find the small victories, and if we can, capitalize on them.
They want to get it in quick here.
It's a good ball. Again, it's too much room to dribble.
Ball in. And the keeper unabated with a catch. Again, 2000 wins it here at the midfield. Roberts, Sandoval. Sandoval plays it forward. Here we go. On the far touchline. Again, just so much room to look, survey, and then cross.
Yeah, the organization seems to be a struggle right now. You had 2v1, and defender over there, number 10, Isabella Madrid, had no help. No help. Something that Isabella can do is she does have the ability to dribble the ball forward very successfully, and she, the last time down here she did. They need to try to exploit that.
Fishbein comes off. Sierra Ramirez is in. Daughter of Lobo coach Jeremy Fishbein. Keep her up to the task there. See if they can get anything on a quick counter. Plenty of numbers back.
Yeah. There's not many girls that are going to outrun Hannah Gallegos while dribbling.
far side, nothing doing there. It looked like Hannah got a toe in there and tapped that one away. So we're approaching the half here. The 2 goals. Sydney Groth, 7-minute, 12th minute. They were beauties.
Again, get ball in the wide area, no pressure.
Defender went all out, stepped in, tried there. Gonna head her out. But still the danger still pretty potent here. A lot of offensive players forward, just so much freedom in the box. Some relief here. Just momentarily, though.
Oh, what a ball. Ooh.
It's close.
That was close.
Trying to chip it ahead to the taller Martinez over the top and just barely off. You would think a counter would have to almost come on a play like that.
Yep, stepping forward on a flat pass. Isabella Madrid again. She has that ability to move forward. Unfortunately, when your team doesn't have the ball, you can't do that as an outside back. So hopefully they can capitalize on one of those counterattacks and really start putting pressure on the Rio 2000s.
Wind picking up again here. Nice work there. Nothing in the end, but she did a really nice job on her defender there with her footwork. So we're coming up on the 40th minute here. Official time's kept on the field. Another catch by the keeper. She's been busy. Opportunity quickly erased here. One thing I will say, if you want to nitpick at things that maybe 2000 could improve, and trust me, they made it very hard to find holes in their game. A lot of these balls, no one there on the rebound if it were to deflect off the keeper, so not a lot of support in the box.
Yeah,
on a putback.
Yeah, I
really,
think
that's been the only thing
I
could find, Coach.
Yeah, well, something that you'll hear in your coaches say and tell their players is to frame the goals. So anytime a ball's coming in, we need near post, front post, and then someone right on top of the keeper. So if you're looking for to be ticky-tacky on what they can improve on, I think
that's
it's
really
that.
the only thing that I could find,
Early on, they were finishing their opportunities, and they've kind of gone into a drought of finishing. But they're still getting the opportunities, but can we find the back of the net?
Sandoval. Deja still with the ball at her feet. Still Sandoval. Now she's going to look to play across, and it's deflected. She'll earn a corner. Looks like Sandoval's going to take that corner. No, I beg your pardon, that's not Sandoval. Wind really picked up there. Still not out of trouble. Rivera.
Shot.
So the last time we talked, Coach, you were telling me about travels your team had done that year. Any plans for that for the St. Pius girls this year? Any tournaments you'll be visiting and
No,
things of that nature?
not this year. In fact, something that we're actually doing as a program is I've eliminated 4 games from our schedule. The New Mexico Activities Association allows teams to play 20 games, and the science behind periodization and how we play the game, that's too many games on an athlete's body. Something that I'm pushing for is a complete reduction of games by the sanctioning body. Studies are showing that kids this age, 17, 18, after a 90-minute game, they need 72 hours to recover. And we look at the state tournament, you play potentially 3 games in 72 hours. So a lot of changes coming in our program. Something that we're going to try to do next year, so this would be next summer, is we're going to try to take a group out to either England or Spain over the summer to train for about a week and play some international teams. And we use most of our trips to get a lot of bonding. Something that I've come to recognize is the closer your team is, the more successful you'll be. So nothing this year. In fact, we're dropping some games off. But next year we're hoping to go to Europe. So we'll see if we can make that happen.
Well, and the meat of your schedule usually does come in district, right?
Yeah, so being in a district with 4 other teams, 10 of our 16 games will be district games. Our non-district schedule is a balance between, we have 2 6A schools. We're going to be facing Cibola, the 2-time defending state champ, in 6A. Last year we tied them, and again we're going to be facing them, and then we'll face the perennial powerhouse La Cueva. Other than that, we try to really focus on 5A teams and then some of the private schools in town like Sandia Prep and Hope, so that we can kind of have a little rivalry with them as well. We'll end our season with Albuquerque Academy, which is always a fun one, and yeah, it'll be a good season.
And why have the private schools taken just a stronghold of the Blue Trophy over the last couple of seasons? Is that a trend you see ending anytime soon? Save the 6A schools. That's really been a dominating trend.
Yeah, if I had to give a reason, an example is, and I don't have the exact years, I think it's 12, but I think in the last 12 years in what was 4A that's now 5A, it's either been Pius or Academy winning a championship. I think a lot of that has to do with we're inside of a big city. All of our players are playing club and constantly getting pushed by better players.
Right.
A lot of the teams that are in our particular classification are a little bit farther outside of Albuquerque, so usually they'll have 3 or 4 players that will drive the 3 to 4 hours to come play with Albuquerque teams. But
now you've seen the smaller private schools like a Santa Fe Prep and others start to really step up as well. So it's just been a total private school whitewashing, it seems.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, and something that could be argued is, in our country, I think we're the only country where soccer is not
expensive.
The poor man's sport.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world sport is expensive in America. That is odd.
What's interesting is, with the Albuquerque Soul, we actually have 2 players in this year from Brazil. And we had this discussion last week, and it was about how in Brazil the one guaranteed way out of poverty is through the game of soccer. In the United States of America,
you talk to parents here, and the way to poverty,
right,
is the game of
soccer. Yeah. So in our country right now, it's basketball, football. But again, I think we're, as a country, a late bloomer to the world's game, and we're starting to make some of an impact. So that's a good thing.
We've reached halftime here. It's 2-0. Sidney Groth with the 7th and 12th minute goal. Take a timeout, come back with the second half after this. You're watching ProView Sports.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sinners and Saints, a proud sponsor of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Start your evening off right with a delicious menu selection like the Sinners Smothered Fries with pulled pork and green chili. Always prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Catch all the sports action from college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Sinners and Saints, the friendliest sports bar in Albuquerque.
Ladera Golf Course on Albuquerque's west side features spacious greens, 27 holes with outstanding practice facilities, and beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains, nestled at the foot of the volcanoes. Our 300-person banquet room and bridal suite is perfect for all occasions. Customize your room with color, chair covers, table linen, dinner, and champagne. Visit our cafe and bar with daily specials and happy hour, plus our full-service golf pro shop. For tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of ProView Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sinners and Saints, a proud sponsor of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Start your evening off right with a delicious menu selection like the Sinners Smothered Fries with pulled pork and green chili. Always prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredient. Catch all the sports action from college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Sinners and Saints, the friendliest sports bar in Albuquerque.
Ladera Golf Course on Albuquerque's west side features spacious greens, 27 holes with outstanding practice facilities.
And we're back. It's 2-0 at the half, and it could have been a lot more. 7th and 12th minute goals for Sidney Groth. I'd say close to 85-90% possession for the 2000s. On the other side, you have to be happy that it's only 2-0 because it could have been a lot worse, Coach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw, at least 2 shots hit the post. So, yeah, 2-0. You're feeling okay. Again, it'll be interesting to see what changes are made. But there's got to be some changes. And for the 2000s, you're looking at can we end this game in the first 12 minutes like we did in the first half? Can we score 2 more?
Winner on to Seattle, Washington. And it was just a clinic in possession of the football early on in the first half. Well, the entire first half, really.
Yep. They go again.
Between Fishbein and Roth. Then Sandoval when she came on. Just beautiful possession.
I think the biggest difference between the two teams is one team's playing simple.
I think even Pep Guardiola would have been happy with that possession.
Yeah, with that first half.
In that first half.
A little ticky-tack.
Making that run there on the far side. Ramirez. Still Ramirez.
That was a good ball in. Corner kick.
Yep, they'll earn the corner here. I think in the end, I don't think Martinez had to concede that corner. She had more time to clear that. Let's see if they can connect here on the corner. So they're human. And if you're a team, you've been on the winning end of some ugly score lines, Coach. So what do you do to see the game out? What do you keep working on en route to Seattle? In real game conditions, what can you keep working on here?
I think if I'm the team that has a 2-0 lead right now, something that we talk about at St. Pius is, and even with the Soul, is kill the game. Possess the ball, continue the 90% possession, play smart. Don't allow the other team to counterattack. So again, kind of turn this into a game that we keep the ball on the ground and keep it moving. I think if they can keep it simple, keep possession, the other thing that should do is that should keep us pretty healthy. And that's the number one priority when you're going into a regional tournament is, can we go in healthy and fresh legs? So if you've noticed, a lot of the starting lineup in the second half is a lot different than they started in the first half. So get some kids some rest that need some rest. State Cup is a long tournament. Gallegos had a nice win there. Again, out to a wide area.
Nice cross in and a forward touch. That one was served right up. And Ramirez I beg your pardon, Thompson, Kayla Thompson, I think she tried to bring it down.
Some good pressure.
Momentarily relief. Try to play a quick ball through there. Couple of glimmers of possession for Impact there to start the half, but
another good ball in. Trouble. Good save.
Keeper up to the task. Just a touch too much air into that, I think. Impact will have the throw here on the near side. This is some dangerous play here at the back.
Yeah. It looks like the 2000s are playing a 4-3-3, so you got to be very mindful about trying to swing a ball through your back line. Where they have the numbers, Impact is in the midfield, and they need to start exploiting that.
Too heavy on that ball forward. Thousands trying to play out of the back here.
Getting a good build up so far.
2000s really haven't ever lost their shape today. They've just stayed so wide, used the entire pitch for that possession game.
Good ball.
Monheimer stepped in there. Impact trying to play it quick. Dangerous here.
I think right there the keeper should have called her defender off and gone and got the ball.
Left-footed shot, no. It's wide. Kaylee Pena. A little surprised, Coach, that the third goal hasn't come.
Yeah, it's not that they're not trying. I think if they continue to do all the right things, it'll come. But the last thing that they're wanting to do is trying to force something, getting too many numbers forward, and then having a mistake that costs the goal. Dangerous.
Almost a mistake here. The keeper
What a
comes out.
save.
And then it's cleared by the back line. Keeper had to come sliding to make the save.
That's the first action she's seen today, and she had to keep one out of the net.
Yeah.
Again, that right there is why she's committed to a Division I college in the Mountain West. Looks like the energy level for Impact is rising a little bit. Good turn.
No support down there on far post. There was a man coming at the last minute, but when they've set the bar so high in the opening 20 minutes, how hard is it to sustain that level? I think they've shown here they haven't been able to get on the end of some balls. They've created plenty of chances, kept their shape, attacked, but the finish hasn't been there.
You know, something that I talk to my players about is control the controllables. So control what we can do as far as, we can't control if we're hitting the post, or just continue to be in the right spot at the right time, and things will take care of themselves. So, I would imagine if they keep getting that ball out wide, eventually they're going to capitalize on one of the crosses. They just want to make sure that defensively they're maintained tight. Again, there's another time that we're getting the ball forward. It's a good ball. It's good contact, just a little too far out to go at the goal.
On the opposite touchline here. Credit the Impact defenders, Coach. They've really closed down the amount of space they're giving these dribblers for the 2000s as opposed to the first half.
Yeah, no, that's probably the best adjustment so far, and you can tell that in doing so they're able to get the ball forward a little more.
Free kick here from midfield for Impact. Trailing it by 2 here. But the 2, coupled with the amount of possession, has made it feel like so much more.
Yep.
Nice nutmeg
This is
there.
trouble.
the far touchline now. Let's see if they can get anything going here. Good defending. Rivera. They're trying to play it forward to Ramirez, and Rivera had other ideas. Good defending again here.
Good ball.
Keeper comes out right away. Couple of options there on the ball forward. They're just winning a ton of these balls at midfield, Coach.
Looks like we have a substitution. Not yet.
Victoria Mares is getting ready to come on here. Center back with the clearance. Some 1v1 work here. Nice job shedding a defender. Beautiful dribbling thus far. And just a hasty touch there once they got it to Kayla Thompson. Play back to the keeper here. You see Impact starting to press up a little bit. A lot more pressure than the first half, like we mentioned. Dangerous. As they tried to find Groth, she was racing back to a spot in the box to maybe get across for her third goal. Roberts is on here.
Dangerous ball in.
Not a bad idea.
Can win the second ball.
Again, 2000's first to the ball wins it. It was Pena that won it. Now they'll switch it. They'll play from the other side of the pitch. Nice dribble work there. The step over. Keeper's out.
Good clearance.
Identified that right away. Cleared it away. I want to thank our sponsors here at ProView Networks, especially our local sponsors here in Bernalillo, Pizza 9 on Highway 550, as well as McDonald's. Try a signature crafted recipe today at the McDonald's in Bernalillo. Proud sponsors of ProView Networks, specifically this tournament. We also want to thank Cafe 6855, amazing lunch and weekend brunch. $5 mimosas, Bloody Marys, and draft beer. And Patadoras FC to help develop each player to his or her fullest potential as a person and as a soccer player. Winners on to Seattle.
Sure, that'll be a nice change from Boise. I know that the last two have been in Boise, and the heat. A lot of people, you don't think about heat in Boise, but from the players that I've had that gone out there said it's really hot and really humid.
So all of our lovely viewers in Boise, Idaho. That's David Sullivan at St. Pius High School.
Go Lobos.
Send those letters directly to St. Pius High School, not to ProView Networks. But Boise, actually, they love their soccer there too.
Oh yeah, and then the facilities they have are great. Yeah, the other thing that we hope going to Seattle is we're going down to sea level, so our team should have some lungs.
Yeah,
some lungs there, and again, when we're in Boise, the elevation's not too much different. So
I'll tell you what, you really notice it when you live here for a while, Coach. And then you go back down to sea level and you hit the pub or whatever.
Right.
And boy, you're a champ because you've been drinking at this altitude all these days. That's when I first noticed it.
I'll tell you, working with the Albuquerque Soul, that the first 2 weeks are pretty tough.
Well, even yesterday in the broadcast, I saw some guys just gassed.
Yeah, there's a difference between being in shape and being in elevated shape.
Right.
So, again, I think that'll be a big advantage for us. Something that a far-off dream for the Soul is to convert Albuquerque into a high-altitude, high-heat training center, where eventually we want to bring in international teams from the likes of England and Spain to train in Albuquerque for a week in preseason. Some of the studies are coming out with now say that high-heat training is more valuable than elevation training, and we happen to live in a place where you can get both.
And what are some of the things you guys do at the Soul to get the guys ready when they come to this elevation?
It's a lot of what they do. We trained pretty much 7 days a week. Now that our season's kicked off, we will have Monday off. But I will tell you that at the recovery session this morning, we had 12 guys that are now going to come tomorrow and kick a ball around. So,
so really, there's no scientific magic tool, right? It's just a total assimilation of the body, right, to the environment.
Yep. In fact, we had a player that was supposed to come in from England, and he was advised by his doctor that because he had sickle cell disease that that'd be too dangerous for him to come and play. So that was someone that was a center back for us. We were expecting some big things that unfortunately this isn't the place for him. But a lot of the guys, a lot of it's after practice or after a training center. They'll do their own work. It's interesting working with those guys because they know what's required and how to get their bodies ready. So, but usually that first 2 weeks is tough.
Yeah.
First day, headaches and they come in, they look at you and say, "I'm in shape, I promise."
I was watching the broadcast last night, and they got a tight shot of one of the Soul players on a throw-in, and it looked like he was ready to just call it a night. He was gassed, and that's definitely elevation. Just a corner. It was up there for a while as the wind picks up.
We should have another corner.
We'll try it from this side.
If you're the 2000s, you're hoping that with this many corner kicks that you can get one in at some point. Between that and the crosses, we should be finishing one. Let's see if this is the one for us.
Have it from this side, the near side now. poor ball from that corner.
Got a second
ball?
chance.
No.
See if we can get a counterattack. Switch the field. Switch the field.
Barella almost won it back there for 2000s.
Dangerous
Not
ball.
quite.
Oh.
Nice job at the last minute there for Cassandra Sandoval. Step in, put a toe on that, and get it away.
That wind's kicking up, which should help should help impact a little bit. I think it's important for them to, you need to narrow that gap now, sooner than later. So, you know, again, if they can get one in now, they could have the 2000s on their heels.
It's been 2-0 since the 12th minute. You're watching ProView Networks. Fishbein comes back off. Looked like she was coming off. No, maybe not. Sebastian Noel to Coach David Sullivan here on ProView Networks, our director, Alden Ioane. Mexico's first 24/7 sports network here. Trying to make something happen on this end. Fishbein helps take it away. Nice recovery there by the defender. That's Isabel Madrid again defending. She's done a nice job today defending. Let's see if we get a better look here. They had a really poor corner from this side last time. Much better there.
Should be a goal kick, a corner kick.
Go back, do it again, corner kick.
Let's see if our goal scorer can get an assist.
7th and 12th minute goals for Sydney Groth. She'll send in another corner here. That's a nice ball in. Shove it back in again. Oh, a lot of options here. Keeper, nice job coming out.
Pretty big collision.
Keeper came up big there on the punch. There's really two unmarked 2000s. Had a chance at that one. Going to take this for the keeper. Martinez, now it's taken away. They have something here. Fishbein in the middle. Groth here on the side.
There it is.
The cross in. It's a beauty. Barella. really picking up out here now. There's Fishbein. See if she can get on the end of this one. Defender wins the race. Ariana Armijo. But just in time to concede the throw.
Dangerous ball. All right, corner kick. Let's see if they can close the gap.
You never know, something crazy happens with the wind here, right? Get some
Oh,
shots
yeah.
on frame.
Yeah, I mean, we're still got plenty of time. 15 minutes.
7th and 12th minute goals. They've been clinical in their build-up and possession, but haven't netted a third yet. Groth couldn't get on the end of that one. So the sub here, Megan Martin, number 77. Impact here, loses it at the midfield. A lot of room on the near side on that run for Fishbein. A little heavy on the touch, she's not going to get to it.
That was a good idea, though. Should have seen it a little sooner.
You can see that one building up all the way, yeah.
Trouble. Here we go again.
Dangerous here, the keeper retreating. Shot, no, wide. Not what Martinez wanted there. They had the keeper backpedaling.
Impact definitely looks like a different team in the second half. I think that started the first half, they kind of looked intimidated. I don't know if that's the right word, but started off pretty slow, and then when you can see 2 goals in 5 minutes, really is hard to come back from. But they've looked a lot better.
Well, this is an entirely different looking team defensively. Coach, you wouldn't recognize them compared to the amount of space they were giving 2000s in the first half.
Dangerous ball.
Keeper recovers. Coming up here on 15 to play. Fishbein chase this one down.
It's a dangerous spot for a foul. Let's see if they put a left-footed player over it and try and have an in-swinger. Or
that third goal has been elusive. Adjusted just the 2. Play at the top. anything on the counter here. Counter opportunities have been few and far between today for Impact. If you're the coach here of a winning team, you can still obviously be disappointed in a scoreless second half, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, something you try to implement with your players is never be satisfied. You know, again, championship game, but you still have work to do. Even if you go out into regionals and win that, then you have nationals. So you can't be satisfied until you're national champs. You know, I think there's definitely some things that Coach Brendan's seeing that he can work on before they head up to Seattle. Excuse me. But I think you're satisfied with A, if you can keep everyone healthy, and B, you don't concede a goal.
Groth trying to beat her defender, Monheimer. We get the change here. Alexandra Lucero's coming on. Monheimer's been a bright spot for Impact defensively. Back to the keeper here.
Great ball.
Rivera. Far side now. That's a Mariner. Something brewing here in the box. Keeper's up for the task. Don't recall Impact winning too many of these balls out of the air, Coach.
What makes it difficult is that they have one lone forward. Oh, this could be trouble. Oh, not enough.
Closing that down nicely was Hope Sanchez. Fishbein. Sandoval, now that he played it back. Back to Sandoval, she plays it back again. Fishbein. A lot of options here, both sides. Played off to Barella. Barella with a shot!
There it is.
There's a third. Beautiful build-up. And Madison Barella slots it home. Right near the end here.
The 83rd minute. So they had a little bit of a dry spell, but that all but ends the game.
Beautiful build up there. Barella on the left. Fishbein on her right. She played it to the left, and Barella slotted it home for the third. Hopkins plays it out. Sandoval. Here's Fishbein. Where's the help? There it comes.
Oh,
No,
another,
almost.
another good cross.
Played it into Groth. She was looking for her third. We have another substitution here. Piper Jarrett. So we're reaching the closing here. I wouldn't imagine much added time. So if you're Coach Brennan here, what are you working on in preparation for Seattle?
Finishing. Specifically, crosses coming in. They've had a lot of good crosses, but when they've had the good crosses, they haven't had the bodies in the box. So just kind of going over a lot of that stuff. They have a little bit of time. If it was me, I'd probably give them a few days off. Start practicing again late in this week. They definitely earned it. And then again, a lot of it has to do with who you draw and who we're going to be facing, and do we know anything about them. And but again, overall, I think Coach Brennan is pleased with his play. His team's controlled the game throughout. This realistically, this could have been a 7-1 or 7-2 game. But yeah, I think overall you're pleased, working on finishing in the final third. And
Fishbein still down. She originally tripped, and then Madrid sent her down pretty hard.
good sportsmanship right there.
Madrid been the standout defensively, I would say. Well, her and Monheimer have looked pretty good back there. We'll try to grab a word with Coach Brennan after. See if we can get Sydney Groth. Coach, would you like to handle those honors after, since you're our guest? You could handle the post-game interview?
Sure.
All right. Be interested to see if Coach Brennan goes the coach speak away of, hey, we still have to improve this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Or if he rejoices in what was a pretty nice 3-0 victory here.
We'll see if we can catch him. I know that his on field 7, he has a game that's kicking off in 3 minutes.
Right, yeah, so we might not be able to.
But I know that again, you're satisfied winning the state, being able to represent New Mexico at the regional level.
Another chance here.
Knowing him and
Flag was
knowing
up.
the club, again, we're happy to be here and represent the state, but we want to try and be represented on a national level. So that's when we celebrate.
Closing moments here. Flag up, Fishbein. She's had a lot of activity today, just hasn't been able to get on the end of one. Chance here, maybe.
It's the heavy touch. And that'll do it.
That's it, final time. It's 3-0.
A few seconds early.
So 2 early ones from Sydney Groth, 7th and 12th, and then the late one from Madison Barella. That's a 3-0 win for the Rio Rapids 2000 squad. We'll take a quick timeout, see if we can get coach or a player of the game after this.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sinners and Saints, a proud sponsor of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Start your evening off right with a delicious menu selection like the Sinners Smothered Fries with pulled pork and green chili. Always prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredient. Catch all the sports action from college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Sinners and Saints, the friendliest sports bar in Albuquerque.
Ladera Golf Course on Albuquerque's west side features spacious greens, 27 holes with outstanding practice facilities, and beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains, nestled at the foot of the volcanoes. Our 300-person banquet room and bridal suite is perfect for all occasions. Customize your room with color, chair covers, table linen, dinner, and champagne. Visit our cafe and bar with daily specials and happy hour, plus our full-service golf pro shop. For tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Okay, Dave Sullivan here with the goal scorer. 2 goals today, Sydney Grove. Did everything go according to game plan today?
I think we're a little off our game, but we pulled through in the end, and so got there.
Excellent. And now you guys are off to Seattle. What do you think as a team you guys are going to be working on in preparation for competing on a regional level?
Being mentally focused the whole way through and just pushing through the tiredness that we're going to fall
All right,
into.
perfect. And just a question about your goals. How does it feel having 2 goals in a state championship final?
Pretty cool. I was excited. I was really excited.
Excellent. Again, Dave Sullivan here with the 2 goals in a state championship final. Sydney Groff, back to you guys.
right, thanks, David. We have one more to follow. Thanks to our director, Alden Iwani, and Coach Sullivan, Sebastian Noel. Thank you for joining us. We'll have the 3 o'clock championship.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.